Welcome to UNIVAL Secure Messaging Demonstration. Direct Project Use Case 1. Primary care provider refers a patient to a specialist, including a summary of care record. For referring a provider to initiate a message, provider needs to log into the Direct Message Center. There's two ways that a provider can log into the Direct Message Center: through direct website access or through a healthcare portal and utilize single sign-on, depending on the network setup. For the demo purposes, I am going to be logging in through the web access. The first thing I'll need to enter is my domain name, and then my username that I'm going to be logging in as. We're going to pretend that I am Dr. Clara Morrison today, and then a password. We would click Login, and this will take us directly to our secure email delivery system. From here, Dr. Morrison can review her messages, see if she has any new messages, unread messages. She can look in her sent items. She can create folders, delete, filter, and do several email actions: move, copy, and archive emails. For today, though, we're going to be composing a new message. We're going to be sending a secure message to Dr. Samaritan, because as use case 1 is a primary care provider, refers patient to a specialist, including a summary of care record. So the PCP, Dr. Clara Morrison, would be entering in the specialist's first name or partial first name. Then you would enter in the last name or partial last name, and then the specialty. Dr. Diane Samaritan is an endocrinologist, so we can just type in the letter E and then click Verify Physician. What comes up is a list from our provider directory. You can select the provider if the provider that came up is correct, or you can say return no selection. It's completely based on what and who you want to send the message to. Since the specialist is Diane Samaritan, specialty is endocrinology, and that is her contact information the best I know it, we're going to say select provider and selection complete. Once we have verified our physician, we can start to enter in our patient information. We're going to enter in the patient's first name, which is Test, last name is Smith, and a date of birth of 04/04/1964. And then we're going to enter in a provider patient ID. The provider patient ID could be their medical record number, or however the provider or location recognizes their patients. I'm going to enter in a number of 555-666-999. And then once we verify that we have the provider information correct and the patient information correct, we can go ahead and start to compose our message. I'm going to be sending a referral, and I'm going to put the reason for the referral in the subject line: severe hyperlipidemia. Once you have the subject line, Dr. Morrison can begin to compose her message to Dr. Samaritan. She can go ahead and select the font, the size, if she needs to bold, underline, any of the email text editing solutions that she would like. The message I'm going to write is going to say, Dear Dr. Samaritan, I am referring one of my male patients to you for a second opinion. My patient, Mr. Smith, has severe hyperlipidemia, and his date of birth is 04/04/1964. Then I'm going to tell Dr. Samaritan what types of documents I'm going to attach. So I'm going to say, please see the attached referral form, CCD, and supporting documentation. And then closing. Many thanks, Dr. Clara Morrison. So now she can review the message, and then if she likes the message, we can go ahead and start to add our attachments. So we browse for our attachments, like you would browse for adding any other documents. And we can add our referral form. We can add our supporting documentation, and then we can add our CCD. Again, we want to review, make sure we're sending it to the correct provider, the correct patient, the subject line, and then re-review our message. If everything looks good, we can say send secure message. A message will come up that your secure email has been sent successfully. Now that the message has been sent, Clara Morrison can do a couple things at this point. She can clear the patient information and the provider information and send another message, or she can return to her inbox. The message that we just sent can be stored in our message store for up to 90 days. And once the email has been opened and read by the specialist, our PCP, Dr. Clara Morrison, will receive an email in her inbox confirming the delivery in the read receipt. The next step or process in our demo is to show you the receiving provider. We just went through the process for sending a message, so I will go through the process of receiving. Just like the sending provider, the receiving provider can log in through either a single sign-on or through direct web access. I'm going to be logging in through the direct web access. And we're going to log in as Dr. Samaritan. So put in her username, we enter her password, and again we have to put the domain in. And then we click login. So now we can see when we've logged into Dr. Diane Samaritan's inbox, she has several messages. We're going to look at the one on 8/22 at 4:30. We're going to click on the message, and we can review. The message is from Dr. Morrison, it's to Diane Samaritan, and she can see the name, the patient name, their date of birth, and their ID number. Then the body of the message, as well as any of the attachments. The attachments, she can click on them, open them, save them, download them, print them, or file them, or even save them for uploading into her own EMR or EHR system. From here, once she has reviewed all of her attachments, she can go through and either reply to sender or return to the inbox. Let's go ahead and reply to the sender. So here, it's the same thing except for the provider information is pre-populated because we're replying. The patient information is pre-populated for the reply. And then we have the original message. So she can go down and say, Dear Dr. Morrison, thank you for the referral for Mr. Smith. I plan to meet with him over the next few weeks. Thank you, Samaritan. If they wanted to add more information, most definitely they could. And then if there's any attachments, if there's none, then we can just say send secure message. And your message has been sent successfully. Now the message has been sent, she's reviewed her messages, she can go ahead if she wanted to and file them, or we can go ahead and double check. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and log back into Dr. Morrison's inbox because I want to show you the delivery receipt and the read receipt. So we're going to go to put in our domain name again. We're going to enter in our username. We're going to enter in our password. and click Login. From here you can see she's got a new message. She's actually got two. Your secure message has been received. So click on the envelope to open the message. And Dear Dr. Morrison, your secure message to Dr. Diane Samaritan has been received and read. So we're confirming that the message went to the right provider, and we're now aware that the provider has opened that message and is aware that we've sent the referral. And then we can see, oh, we received an important message from Dr. Diane Samaritan. From here, Dear Dr. Morrison, thank you for your referral for Mr. Smith. I plan to meet with him over the next few weeks. Thank you, Dr. Samaritan. Now at this point, if Dr. Morrison wanted to include additional information or let the Dr. Samaritan know some more about the case or more about the patient, she could reply to the sender, or she can just return to her inbox. That concludes our demonstration for use case 1. If you have any additional questions, please let us know and we'd be happy to go through it again for you.